What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Middle Room Podcast. If you want to throw us some support and love, head over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/the Middle Room Podcast. There's bonus content up on that page right now if you contribute. If not, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud. And if you want to watch us do our thing, check us out on YouTube by searching the Middle Room Podcast. Also, give us a follow on Instagram at Middle Room Pod. All right, let's get into it.
Dude, let's talk about the new Razr phone.
Ooh.
The new Razr phone looks absolutely fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'm a really, really big fan of it. If I weren't such a Apple fanboy, I would definitely be getting into that. If I was part of the Android cult, which I'm not, I would definitely be going out to get a Razr my next go around. But the thing is like the thing that Apple has over everybody else, no matter what, is just like it's compatible with like my MacBook.
Yeah.
It like I can iMessage, which is so much better. I think like
Agreed.
the interface as a whole looks better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can't really be torn from it, and I'm also super accustomed to it.
I'm a big Apple boy.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever stray from it, to be honest.
God, I just want that that ability to be like super sexy and flip my phone.
I know.
You know what
I know the flip is super sexy, dude. It has been since the turn of time.
That phone was sexy in 2006, bro.
I know. Did you have one?
No.
I did, dude.
Did you?
I did. I had a gray one that used to be my mom's.
Damn.
And she gave it to me when she upgraded. And it kind of worked. I kind of did that with my mom.
She upgraded from the Razr? What the fuck did she upgrade
I know.
to?
Really was a downgrade, but I didn't say anything.
She downgraded from the Razr.
No, but like it was kind of crazy because like that period of time of phones before we had like full scale touchscreen phones, there was so much weird, cool shit coming out. Like you had the flip phones for a while, and then there was the ones that had the slide out keyboards.
Ooh, the slide out ones were dope.
I'll never forget my babysitter, who was a friend. He was one of my mom's friend's kids, who was like a couple years older than me. He would babysit me when I was, I don't know, probably like in first or second grade.
Yeah. He
had one that like fucking, it had like the screen on it would do like a 180 as it flipped out.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? I remember thinking that phone was the coolest fucking thing. I wanted it so bad.
Yeah.
And I went through a ton of the ones that slid out, and it was always really cool to have like a full physical keyboard there, and then when it slid back in, it was just a regular touchscreen.
Dude, I didn't have a phone until like my freshman year of high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was one of those kids.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Wow. What the fuck does that mean?
I got my first phone. I'll never forget this. I got my first phone when I was, I think, in the third grade. My mom bought me a track phone because I went on a school field trip. My mom wasn't like one of those like helicopter moms or anything, but she was like, we'll get you a track phone. You can call if you need be, it was like whatever. And then like after that, I just always had a phone. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't texting when I was in the third grade or anything. I only had my mom's number in it, my dad's number, and I think like one other person in case they were away. You were such a
fucking loser.
Hey, I had no friends. I had absolutely no friends.
All your friends had the fucking Razr and you had a track phone. Little bitch.
Dude, the track phone was the shit for a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't. You never had a track phone?
No, dude.
What'd you get when you were well, I mean, I guess when you were a freshman, there was way better options.
Yeah, I got my first phone was the Galaxy S3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
that's a pretty solid first phone.
Yeah, no. It's the props of waiting that long.
Yeah, I guess
everything was up and running, but I had that. It like shit out in like a year, and then I went to iPhone.
Yeah. And you've been an iPhone boy ever since.
An iPhone boy ever since until I go buy that $1,500 new Razr.
Dude, I can't even quantify why exactly it is that I won't stray away from Apple phones. They're more expensive. They're a hassle. The battery on them is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But there's something about an iPhone. Like, I really don't want to lose iMessage. That's honestly one of the biggest things. It's also way prettier. You look at people who don't have an iPhone will try to tell you like, no, bro, you're wrong. You look at the way any Android screen looks, and it looks like it's from like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's bad.
It looks shitty.
And the green text messages.
And you fucking, dude, the screen feels cheaper. You ever like just slide your thumb across any fucking screen that's not an Apple screen? It feels like it's like gritty.
I refuse to touch them.
It feels like you could fucking sand toenails down with a screen of a fucking Android. Literally, dude, it's gross.
Oh, no,
And it's like, it's laggy as fuck. Like you like do it and then it's like, oh, okay. it takes forever. And I'm sorry, but iPhone now has the swipe to touch, right?
Swipe to touch.
It's like where you're on the keyboard and you go like, you don't have to pick your finger up. You just go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everybody who has an Android always tried to sell me on that.
Who gives a fuck?
Really never gave a fuck because
that's harder.
I can pick my exactly. I can pick my thumbs up like a grown adult human being, and I'm not really all that concerned with fucking. You look like you're drawing fucking spells on your fucking phone screen.
Hi, I'm Jacob, and this is Disney Channel.
Oh shit!
You on your fucking Android? This is Disney Channel. And you're just trying to write out, "Hey, how's it going?"
Oh my god!
Oh my, that's so funny.
That's excellent.
But yeah, it's definitely not worth it.
It's definitely not. Apple would have to seriously tank,
dude. But Apple needs to come out with a flip phone.
They do, yeah.
Will.
Apple needs more options. You know what I mean? Apple needs more options because I kind of feel like I'm growing out of the just straight. Like that's the other thing is just what I was getting at about there being so many cool generations of phones back then. Is just like every year it comes out, it's just this same fucking thing with like a different camera and new software. You know what I mean? I wish they would do something truly
weird, bro.
Truly, like, I hate to use like a cliche term, but do something like actually revolutionary.
Yeah.
I've thought about. I
phone, baby.
I can't lie. I thought about switching to the Google phone.
Ew,
the Google phone,
Pixel.
It's got the best camera.
Who gives a
I
fuck,
think the
bro?
camera's better. Well, see, that's a big reason why I don't want to leave iPhones is because when you're like sending pictures to and from somebody that doesn't have an Apple phone, it is blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you should like wipe the fucking grease off your lens, dude. It looks gross.
Well, here's the thing, too.
Gross. It's like not just pixelated, it's like greasy. It looks like there's grease on the lens.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Imagine being in like a group project in college and then just getting in a group chat and a green bubble pops up and they're like, all right, who's the fucker with the Android?
Yeah, the iMessage doesn't go through.
How would you would hate to be that person.
You would, dude. I hate to say it, but like I've been in the same group chat with this group of kids since I was in my junior year of high school. Mm-hmm. So fucking 4 years now. And just recently 2 of them went to Android. So we had to start a new group chat, and now it's green. And it's not as fun.
It's not fun.
We don't use it as much.
It's not fun.
We seriously don't use it as much. It's like laggy. The messages send less often. Like it has more problems. And the other thing that's retarded too is like you can still fit. Like you could do the like you hold on it and you press ha ha or exclaim it.
Yeah.
Do you know what happens when you do that with an Android?
It's just like they liked this message.
Yeah, it says laughed at, quote unquote. Yeah, dude, I'll see you at the game next weekend. Like, what the fuck is this? Did we hire a fucking narrator? Who's the fucking narrator in the chat? How do they know what Drew laughed at?
Yeah, exactly. That's dumb. Dude, in high school, I think, like, when we would have, like, a party or something, and, like, I made, like, a group chat for it, I would exclude the people who had Androids.
Oh, dude,
and then just text them individually. But then they miss out on the whole group chat fun.
Bro, oh my God. You're making me feel so... I forgot all about this until just now. When I was on my high school soccer team, I was the captain my junior and senior year, so I made the group chats, and I had 2. I had one...
Weird flex.
We had all the iPhone kids and all the non-Android kids, and there was only me and 2 other kids in the non-Android chat.
Damn.
me texting 2 kids that had Androids.
Oh.
And the thing is, like, I would forget to text them half of the time.
Damn, dude.
They'd be like, Marsh, what time are we supposed to meet? And I was
the bus left an hour ago, bro. Get a fucking iPhone.
Oh, how funny. What, you didn't get the message? Oh,
Marsh laughed at this. Marsh laughed at where are we meeting? Sorry, bro.
Oh my God. The other thing too, the one thing that keeps me going back to iPhone again and again is being a lazy ass college student and always having my computer in front of me in class. I can fucking text on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I have my watch.
It just goes back and forth. Yeah, that's true. Well, I had my watch, which was fun for a while, but mine broke. But It's super convenient to be able
I'm
to
way
do that.
too invested in Apple, dude. Thousands of dollars into Apple products.
I mean,
There's
yeah,
no way I'd ever
to
change.
have the whole system around you is just like it works so much better.
Yeah.
Nobody else has that.
Yeah, that's
unless
true.
you like, really care about those fucking like Alexa speakers or whatever that don't understand what you're saying anyway.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Can't do it. Can't fucking do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Staying with Apple forever. Sorry, Razr.
Hey, you can I rant about another thing?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't want to be that guy, but
Oh god.
do you ever get frustrated at like on Twitter how they're always like retweeting missing people?
I get frustrated by it.
Well, throw me your opinion on it. I mean, I want to hear what you have to say about it because I'll be honest with you. I think it's kind of weird.
Weird.
I think it's kind of weird. Yeah.
I don't think it's very useful.
It's not productive.
I don't think.
You know what I mean?
I don't think that many people have been found from Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when's the last time you heard of somebody getting found and they're like, "Oh yeah, I recognize their picture from Twitter." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I mean, it's not. I'm not
Twitter.
I'm not trying to like minimalize people going missing or human trafficking or anything like that, but like it's kind of fucking. It's just I don't really feel like that's helping at all. I feel like we could be putting our efforts together like somewhere else that's something way more productive than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think people just either brush over it or they like retweet it. And like for me,
Right.
I have like 100 followers on Twitter.
I feel. Yeah, it's not.
And
gonna do
it's
shit
usually
for you.
people that go missing in like fucking other states.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
true.
Dog,
It's true,
I'm
it
never gonna
reaches
see this
you.
person.
I just feel like a lot of people retweet it and more or less like they retweet it and don't even think about looking at the picture. They're more like, I'll retweet it and hope that somebody else who will see this will see the person.
Yeah.
They don't even consider the idea in the moment because, you retweet 1,000 things a day mindlessly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Well, not literally, but you know what I mean? You glaze over and fucking, I would way more quickly remember like a funny video or something that I saw on Twitter. Twitter's just a really bad place for it.
Yeah, I think if I saw someone's picture and even like concentrated on like being able to recognize them, I don't think I would an hour later.
It's too hard. It's a social media platform that's filled with people's faces all day long, and then that one is you're supposed to remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't like it.
anyway, that was just a little rant that's been on my mind for the last couple days that I've seen. Can I tell you the story about how I almost killed someone when I was in the 3rd grade? I've been meaning to tell you about this for
Marsh,
a while.
who did you kidnap?
No.
What missing person is on Twitter because of you?
It's not quite like that. I've been meaning to tell this story on here for a while.
Just a weird transition into it, I guess.
No, yeah. Just let me get into it. So I was in like the 3rd grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And same year I got my track phone, coincidentally enough.
Oh, okay. You thought,
So
I have a phone. I can just kill people.
I had this friend, and he used to have leukemia, and he had beaten leukemia at this point. Let me preface with that.
Okay, good.
He had beaten leukemia at this point, but
Right.
he had a stent, like a plastic stent on his heart, right? And it was like, it was up close, like near all the action of his heart, It was way up there.
Okay.
And me and him were like good friends, and we would always fuck around in class. Like, we would like, it was just horseplay shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And the one day we were in between, learning something. I think we were doing some kind of an activity, and he like kind of came up to me and pushed me, and I just messing around back. Like I wasn't even mad at him. I just kind of like pushed him back, but I hit like my right palm hit him in the chest.
Okay.
And fucking like, I didn't know this at the time. And the kid was a real jokester. Like he would always play pranks on people, and he was just kind of a rambunctious kid. It fucking bent like imagine a straw bending. It like bent the stent somehow, like the pressure of it. And it caused like a fucking blockage for a minute, and his heart just stopped. And this kid goes, falls down on the ground. And I was like, dude, Braden, dude, wake up, dude. Braden, dude, wake up, dude. Braden did not wake up. And Braden was lying there. He was lying there on the floor, and this whole time I'm thinking, I'm thinking the fucking kid is trying to get me in trouble. You know what I
Right,
mean? I
yeah.
thought he was like faking it, or
Oh no.
I thought maybe like he fell down and hit his head or something.
Okay.
And
Did you know he had the stent on his heart?
I had no idea about
okay.
that. I mean, would you know that? I knew he had leukemia, but like I had no idea that correlated to having something done with your heart. Like
No,
that.
I mean, I don't expect you to know, but I just didn't
plus
know if
I
he
was
was
a
like
third grader. You know,
stent on heart. What's that?
My teacher was teaching, and we were all the way in the back, and like I fucking was trying to get him up. Eventually, like I sat in my chair and I fucking raised my hand and I was like, "Hey, I think Braden died."
You did not
He's
say-
fucking. I think he's dead back here.
You did not say that.
No, honestly, I said something. I think I said something like, "We gotta help." I was like, "We gotta help Braden. I don't know what's going on here. He's not waking up." And she like kind of asked me what happened, and like I explained, like I pushed him, but like she didn't really get all the details. She just go get the nurse. And I went and got the nurse.
The nurse.
Dude, they came back and fucking defibrillated him. Defibrillated. They defibrillated him in the back of the classroom.
No,
back
the
to life.
nurse. Or
I
did
think
they
it
call
had to. I
paramedics?
think it had to have been the nurse.
No way.
I think it had to have been the nurse, dude. There would not have been enough time for paramedics to come. I'm not shitting you.
I thought
School
nurses were just like there to give out Band-Aids.
Dead. He would have had to have been dead for at least fucking a minute and a half before she could have even gotten there.
So
a minute to 2 minutes, I'd say.
So you
at the
killed
very
somebody.
He was dead.
So you straight up killed somebody.
I think a lot about like what would have happened if we didn't get to him in time. You know what I mean? Because like it would be like this horrible curse over the town. Like, do you think people would like still be throwing rotten tomatoes at my house as they drove by? Fuck that guy. Fuck him.
He killed the leukemia
Remember
kid.
when he killed that kid with leukemia? Fucking asshole. Fuck that guy.
I heard he just killed him because he had leukemia.
Hey, this guy hates kids with leukemia. No,
Like,
but seriously, like, what a terrible,
my
what a
God.
terrible fate to have like been bestowed upon a town. You know what I mean?
You know when people like go to the people go to the hospital and they like give kids with cancer like stuffed animals and shit.
Yeah.
What if they just took you to the hospital and the kids with leukemia just got to beat the shit out of you?
The Make-A-Wish Foundation ran a campaign. They're like, look, I don't know what you guys want, but here's what we do have. We have a third grade boy who we will let you beat the fuck out of all at once. We'll give you bats, crowbars,
We'll put a stent on his heart. You can bend it.
all kinds of non-lethal weaponry. We'll chain him up.
Oh my God.
Dude, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, that would be such a good look for them.
They'd have a field day for it.
They would have a field day. Like, fucking hell. That's easy pickings.
Oh, Marsh, you
We don't even
almost-
have to get Spider-Man in here. We can just let these kids beat the fuck out of Marshall May. So much
You
easier.
don't even have to have a costume. You can just come in and just get absolutely killed. Oh my gosh, dude, you're a
shit.
murderer.
Yeah, I know. But like, I seriously, like, do you think they would have put a third grader on trial for like manslaughter? You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, that would have been over my head the rest of my life.
Yeah, you killed
That
your
would have
friend.
hung over my head the rest of my life. Like, I would have never lived that down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
People
killed
would
your
always go,
friend.
Marshall Ney, the kid that murdered that other kid back
The
when he was
kid
in third
that
grade.
murdered the other kid. That's what you would be called.
Ugh, Braden, if you're out there listening, dude, I am sorry. You know I'm sorry. Me and Braden, like, we're cool. We were cool after that. I'll never forget. I came back. I left school that day. I came back in because I told my mom what happened, and she's like, we have to drive back and make sure that he was okay. This is at the very end of the day.
Okay.
She's like, we have to drive back and make sure he's okay. I got there, and Braden was just leaving, and he was, like, tired.
Just
Like,
leaving where?
He was just leaving the school.
He stayed at school the rest of the day?
Well, dude, they had been like making sure he was stable for like the last hour.
Oh, okay.
Like he was
the
like
the paramedics came and everything?
they did eventually
Okay.
come, yeah, I think. And when he
They
got
got there in due time.
all right, just making sure everything's okay here. You guys got this?
The cops show up, just strap you into handcuffs.
So yeah, and I saw him walk out, and I went in and talked to the principal about it because he saw me come back and asked what happened, and like I never really, it wasn't really that big of a deal after that. But yeah, Braden's all healthy now, and
Well, that's
he
good.
Thankfully, didn't die.
Well, he did.
Well, yeah, not for good.
Yeah.
He's a zombie. He's a zombie. That's basically he's been living off brains for the last fucking 10 years.
10 years. What did the principal say to you?
He went and asked me like what went down. I told him like I was dead
Killed a
honest,
kid.
and he was like because like I said, Braden, like we were both kind of kids that were like, we weren't like really good kids. You know what I mean? Like we weren't bad, but we were always like teachers were like telling us to knock it off and shit. We were rambunctious.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I know Braden's the kind of kid that like he's always fucking around and shit.
Just winks at you and he's like, if you would have killed him, would have been his fault.
He's like, I wouldn't have pressed charges. I
Like it's his choice. not his family or anything. It's the principal's choice.
No, but yeah, so he was basically like, yeah, I know Braden's got to like knock off that kind of behavior, but you have to be careful because, he's not fully healthy. And I was like, yeah, well, I know that now.
He's got a plastic straw in his heart.
Lesson learned. Trust me.
Dude, how selfish is he taking a plastic straw to the heart? At least get a reusable one, bro.
Dude, some turtle right now is got a fucking
got Braden's heart stent.
Braden's heart stent
straw
stuck up his nostrils. He's like, oh, fuck, fuck.
I'm trying to think. You almost killed a kid. I'm trying to think if I've ever killed anyone.
Dude, it's a very unique experience. Not
I
everybody
almost
gets to have one.
I almost let my brother die.
Seriously, almost let him die. Now,
Yeah.
see, when you say I almost let my brother die, I like imagine like a fucking like Lion King scene with like where like your brother's hanging off the side of a cliff and you thought about it for a minute, like should I help him or
I let go, but he climbed back up.
No,
so
I'm assuming it wasn't just your negligence letting him die.
Well, it kind of was, but I don't know. So my brother, my middle brother,
is that Isaac?
That's Isaac.
He
As a kid, that kid was like a super bad kid.
No way.
Yeah, he was like, he just would climb everything, and he was just like, he was so
fucking climbing
bad.
little monkey.
He was a little monkey. He like misbehaved all the time. Like he was the worst.
That's funny. I never would have guessed.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's okay now, but
right. So what did he get himself into?
So at my house that we grew up in, my kitchen was at the back of the house, and there was like this big window right above the sink.
Okay.
So like my mom could see into the backyard.
Right.
And we had a garage that wasn't connected to our house.
Yeah.
It was this big fucking 4-car garage.
Right.
It was in the back, and then our yard was right next to it.
Okay.
And no matter how many times our parents told us, we would always climb up on the garage because it was like a mini house to us, especially as kids. It was like,
it sounds really cool.
It looked dope.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was like this fence in the back of our property, and so we could climb up the fence and get onto the roof.
Okay.
And we would always do that shit. And but in the back there was poles and there was electrical wires that hung down.
Oh wow.
Like pretty close to the roof.
Right.
And I was just outside with my brother, and he had climbed up onto the roof of the garage, and he didn't really know any better, and I wasn't watching him.
Wow.
The dude started hanging from that electrical wire. Like straight up hanging from it.
No way.
I swear to God, he was like
Do your parents know this?
He was like a squirrel. Yes, my mom. The reason I prefaced it with there was a big window. My mom saw it. Like literally, she tells the story a lot better than I do because she said she just looked outside and she just saw Isaac bouncing up and down on this wire, like hanging and just bouncing up and down on it. And she ran outside and she
Dude, I thought
out.
you would get electrocuted if you touched one of those.
Yeah. I don't know.
It must have been down for some reason.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know how the kid's not dead.
That is fucking crazy.
I don't know how the kid's not dead. Or maybe you have to like
he
break
just
the
absorbed all
wire
the
or
shock
something.
and now he has superpowers and you guys don't know it. He turned into a good kid because he's been channeling all of that,
dude,
all of that pent up.
He could have easily died.
He could have
so easily died.
That's crazy. He could have fucking died without touching it.
I almost let my brother die.
It would have arced, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would have arced when he got close enough to it, and it would have zapped his ass.
I don't know how he's not
zapped
dead.
his ass.
He
got lucky.
I almost let my brother die.
You guys both got lucky. You guys both got real fucking lucky.
It's bad.
Dude, speaking of people dying, have you heard all the outrage about the meth epidemic in, I think it was South Dakota?
Yes.
The commercial?
Yes.
It says we're on it.
We're on it.
That shit is
literally worst commercial ever.
For those of you guys who haven't seen it, it is a commercial that I think it was South Dakota.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Of course, it was South Dakota. They
boring state in
fucking
America.
scrounged together all the fucking nickels and pennies they had in South Dakota to make this commercial.
The 10 people they have in the state, they got them all in.
And it's like this little ad where it's a bunch of people and they go, meth, we're on it. And the idea is that like it's a bunch of random people, and the idea is that any given person in South Dakota could be on meth. You know, it could happen to you, it could happen to your family.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we're on it, like we're on top of the issue.
Like meth's an issue, we're on it. It's so stupid.
It's really dumb. It's really, really dumb. And the funny thing about it is like you'd never see like a well-established state running an ad like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's always shitty little states like South Dakota that are like, we have too many people doing meth here.
Yeah, like 75% of our population, like 75 people are doing meth. So like,
dude, wouldn't you fucking do meth if you lived in South Dakota though? Jesus Christ.
Yes, I would.
Just the shape of the state of South Dakota is boring. It's like a big rectangle.
They have to have 2 Dakotas. You know how boring those shits are?
Can you imagine if it was one big Dakota, one big ass barren Dakota?
Barren Dakota.
There's too much Dakota for it to just be one Dakota. They would have way more problems.
Yeah, what else do you do in Dakota other than meth?
Like they needed borders running through the middle of it, because if it was just a bigger expanse,
they carry meth over the South Dakota border to North Dakota. The North Dakota people run an ad like, yeah, you better be on it. You're just bleeding into North Dakota. Get on it.
You're bleeding into North Dakota. Jesus
South Dakota is just terrible, and North Dakota's like, yeah, we have 0 people on meth. But the people in South Dakota, they're bringing it here. We must save our people.
Oh my god!
I hope there's a war between North and South Dakota.
Dude, that would be insane. Like, that would be insane.
Like they just declare war on each other.
All the most uneducated people in the United States of America fighting over what? Land with like some trees and fucking mountains and shit.
Yeah. A couple cornfields.
What do you fight for in South Dakota, dude? There's no chance there's a Chipotle in South Dakota. North Dakota. Remember when we talked about early, like you quantify how well established an area is, whether or not it has a Chipotle in it. Dude, there's literally got to be no Chipotles in that whole shebang.
Whole 2 states.
I can't even. Could you name one city in either Dakota?
No,
I couldn't either.
No.
Granted, we know we're both geographically challenged.
We're terrible at geography.
I should be able to name at least one city. I think I can name a city in almost every other state. But North and South Dakota, it's just like when you're referring to North or South Dakota, you don't even need to know where at in North or South Dakota, because it's already fucked. It's already fucked enough that it's going on in either place. You don't need any more specification than that. Like, it happened in California. Oh, what part of California? Oh, it happened in Florida or Ohio. Oh, what part of Ohio? If it happened in North Dakota or South Dakota, it just fucking happened there. It doesn't matter what part of North or South Dakota.
It happened there, okay.
It happened in that part. That part that should just go away.
And you're not interested anymore, and I get it. Yeah, it happened in North Dakota. Oh, yeah, cool.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Thanks for letting me know.
Sounds good, bro.
That's cool, dude.
Dude, what if in the ad
anything happened anywhere else that's, cool?
Anything happened in the other 48 states that I should be aware of? What if in the ad they're just like, please, we need to fix this meth epidemic. We need a Chipotle. They won't come here unless we're not on meth.
We can't fund Chipotle with all this meth we're smoking.
Meth.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's so funny though.
That's
how
terrible.
many people in South Dakota do you think have a flagpole in their front yard?
It's always like really rural hill jack people too. It's gotta be a lot of people in South Dakota.
I want to talk about if it's cool or not to have a flagpole in your yard.
That's the big debate. That really is the big debate. I've kind of kicked that back and forth in my head. Like when I have a house one day, if I have a decent chunk of land, would I have a flagpole in my yard? The answer is, I don't know.
Where are you living?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't know where I'm living. See, but the thing is, it it's not about where you're living. It's more about how fucking nice it looks. You know what I mean? I've seen people like, especially around here, that have the flagpole in their yard, but it's literally like they just stabbed a fucking metal flagpole in their yard and threw a flag up it. It's like just a hole in the ground. It's not like decorated at all. You know what I mean? People that have flagpoles that are like bricked around and mulched.
Yeah.
A spotlight.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, baby. Fucking America? You kidding me?
Put that shit at half
Dude,
staff,
baby. If I had the ability to throw that shit at half staff.
Throw that shit at half staff and let's party, baby.
Just cuz. Let's just remember everyone.
Just remember everyone. You threw that in there. I mean, just keep it at half staff, baby.
I think that if I did, I would decorate it and I'd make it really badass, and I'd probably do like 2 or 3.
Oh yeah.
People do like the 2 or 3. They do like the American flag, and then they have like the Ohio flag, and then like a POW flag.
Oh, okay.
I think having a POW flag would be kind of sick.
I gotcha.
Like a veterans flag, and I would like to have a flag of the state, especially if I lived in Ohio. Because fun fact, for any of you who don't know, you might not know this.
I definitely, if it's a flag fact, I definitely don't know.
What about Ohio's flag is completely unique?
Oh, is it not a square?
Yes.
Hey.
It's the only flag.
Or not a rectangle?
It's the only flag that is shaped like a pennant, which is the fucking... You know what I'm saying? It's like the M shape.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Because
it's cool.
It's like unique or whatever.
Can't believe I actually knew a flag fact.
Yeah, well.
I feel kind of dumb.
You should be able to put that one together in all honesty. You know
I feel
what I'm saying?
Yeah. But no, I think there's one around my house that's nice. A nice little flagpole.
What's it like, dude? Tell me about the flag.
Oh, you want to know about it?
I want to know all about the fucking flag, dude.
All right, I'll tell you about it. It's bricked around.
Yeah.
And like they live on a
gravel.
like sort of like a hill.
Yeah.
So like their yard is slanted.
Right.
And so it's put in straight, so it looks kind of cool cuz it's like straight on a slanted hill.
Oh yeah, that is kind of sick.
The brick is taller in the front because it's like making up for the slope.
Oh, right.
So it's taller in the front and it wraps around to the back where it's a little bit shorter.
I like that a lot.
And it's mulched up. It's got some plants and shit.
I like this.
The pole goes up.
Ooh.
They don't even run it at half staff though.
Those lazy bastards.
It's at full staff.
You know what? The other thing too that makes flagpoles immediately cool is if it's just a big fuck off sized flag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The real big ones. Like the ones you can see them for miles and miles and miles, like real big flags. If it's just a dinky little flag, it's just a flag. But if you're flying
that flag,
like a 30-foot flag, come my way. There's a car dealership near my house that has like one of the biggest flags in the area.
Oh shit!
I just love looking at it. It makes me proud. It does. It makes me proud to be a fucking American.
Speaking of car dealership, I kind of want one of those like big inflatable dudes in my yard.
A wacky, wavy, inflatable arm flailing tube man. Remember that Family Guy episode? Did you ever watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
Wacky, wavy, inflatable arm flailing tube man. Wacky, wavy, inflatable arm flailing tube man.
I don't know the episode, but it's very impressive. You can say
it's a guy like he's like selling. He's like instead of selling the cars, he's selling the tube men. But he's like a car salesman kind of guy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
There's only certain things I remember from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Like little tidbits that are just stuck in my memory forever.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the way the show works because the show's not cohesive at all.
Oh, no,
it's just a bunch of segments of shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think my favorite ever Family Guy thing.
Bit things.
My favorite ever Family Guy thing was, you know how sometimes they watch TV?
Oh, yeah.
And they'll like show you what the TV show is?
Yeah.
And it's just like, now we're back on Ethiopian Hoarders. And it zooms into this little mud hut.
Yeah.
And it's just this little Ethiopian dude with one leaf in his hand. And he's just rocking back and forth. And he's like, I don't know how it got like this.
Oh my!
Every time someone mentions Family Guy, I think of that.
I always think of the scene. Where they're because that the whole show is based on those cutscenes. Like that's how they make their keep.
Right.
And Peter or someone does this thing where he's like, who's the kid from Back to the Future? The actor's name. Who has that disease now?
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Michael J. Fox.
He's got Parkinson's.
I'm glad you remembered because I couldn't think of the name. He's like, oh my gosh, this is worse than that time I went to that wine party at Michael J. Fox's house. And then they cut away and it's just Peter and he's like in a white room and he's like, hey, we can't actually show this. There's no way we're gonna take the high road here and just not show what that looked like. And then he goes, oh, what's that? Oh, we're running it? All right, I guess we're running it. And then it's Michael J. Fox, like, he's got, like, a tray of wine, and he's, like, shaking and fucking spills it all over Peter. And he's like, what the hell's wrong with you? So good. So good, dude.
I need to watch Family Guy again.
Yeah. It kind of ran its course, I think. I think at the end it started to really, like, tank. Because it lost, like, people kind of caught on to the formula. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it lost
There's
its
new shows
luster.
now. We got
Yeah,
new shows.
there is new shows. Lots of new shows. You know what show has stood the test of time though, for real?
What?
South Park.
I never really got into it.
What?
Yeah.
South Park is
What?
literally might be the best cartoon ever made. I'd be willing to bet that South Park has one of the highest out of adult cartoons. It might have one of the highest viewerships of all time.
I'm sure it does.
Because it causes so much controversy.
Right.
I just saw a thing on YouTube where they're like talking about transgendered people and like gender fluidity and shit, and it's Macho Man Randy Savage, and he's about to compete in a women's bodybuilding competition. And he's like, "Oh, Macho Man Randy!" He's like but he's identifying as a woman. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, I feel like they do just a ton of shit.
Yeah, well,
They're
always like
they're edgy.
Yeah, they're always on like very, very thin ice, but it never really matters because no matter how much backlash they take, they'll never take that show off the air.
No, yeah.
Too many people want to watch it. Comedy Central is down to air it. You know, It's never, that show may never end. Be like The Simpsons. The Simpsons has been going for so many years now.
Simpsons will never end.
Honestly, The Simpsons might have the most views.
Yeah, probably.
The Simpsons have been going since like I don't even know.
And they've done everything, bro. Like, you know how many times something will happen and they're like flash it back to a Simpsons episode in 2004.
Oh yeah,
like,
the Simpsons predictions.
Simpsons predicted this.
That is so crazy.
Yeah,
there's been so many things that they've made episodes on that happened that were like not predictable at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like they guessed it by luck because they talk about so much shit like that. Like
yeah.
I think they predicted that Trump would become president.
They did.
Didn't they? They ran an episode where Donald Trump was the president,
which
was crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. I don't know
how the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck it's possible. But
what if the creator of Simpsons is like a time traveler and it's just the jokes that he wants to play? He just goes goes forward in time, sees things that happen, and then just goes back to 15 years and makes a Simpsons episode about it.
Comes back and cuts it in. That's what I would do if I was a time traveler.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely not what you would do.
It's one of the things I'd do. Why? What's your great idea for what you do if you were a time traveler?
I 100% know what I'd do if I was a time traveler.
Does it have to do with betting?
Yeah.
What would you bet on?
March Madness. I'd make a perfect bracket. That's the simplest thing, dude. Easiest way to make $1 billion and be the person with the most clout in the country.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how heavily you believe in the butterfly effect.
Oh God.
But I mean, I guess
What is that gonna do?
Dude, the butterfly effect has to be. I think it's pretty severe.
What is me winning $1 billion from March Madness gonna do?
No. I'm saying your impact on the future and being there and coming back and betting on it might change the outcome of the games.
No. There's no chance.
You don't know, dude.
I know.
Dude,
I know.
there are vibes in this universe.
There are vibes. I'm going to literally be in the future for 30 seconds, see a perfect bracket, go back, write my perfect bracket, and turn it into ESPN for $1 billion. There's no butterfly effect with that.
There could be, though.
The players aren't like, oh, he voted for
you would be surprised. Like, you would be very surprised how your impact could eventually reach
fucking salty I'd be. First round, my first game, they lose. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, what?
Wait,
I was there.
This didn't happen, bro.
It's not how I drew it up.
This is not how I drew it up. I will not lie. Like this. No, but that's like the entire premise of one of the Back to the Future movies.
Was it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
the
Back
guy
to the
gets
Future.
the like sports almanac and he just becomes like a millionaire by doing like little bets.
Oh, really?
That he knows are gonna like come true.
That's kind of sick.
No butterfly effect there.
Well, you know, Well,
It is a movie.
It is a movie. I mean, there's no way to prove the butterfly effect is real. I just believe in its like potency. You know what I mean?
Whatever.
I believe truly that like you do things you don't even realize that affect other people and affect other people and affect other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever.
Like it has to, like little things you do will eventually spread to wider and wider groups. You know what I mean?
How is me sitting in my room filling out a bracket going to affect anybody else?
I don't know. Think about it in like the most extreme sense. I guess like you bet on it and then somebody else has a conversation about it somewhere. That conversation gets around. The coaches and the players end up finding out like how much money has been placed on the game or something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, it just it fucking spirals. It spirals further and further and further and further. I can't tell you exactly how it would, but I know that it could.
I'm telling you right now, I would fill out a bracket, submit that shit to everything. I wouldn't bet on individual games like an absurd amount of money. I'd submit it, and I wouldn't tell a soul about what my bracket looked like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible.
I would win.
I guess it's possible.
I'll show you one day.
One.
If you ever see me in the news like 40 years from now, I have a perfect bracket. You know why? Because I discovered time travel. And I used it for evil.
Hey, you're a PS4 guy, right?
Absolutely.
Dude, the PS4 argument versus Xbox is almost the same as the iPhone versus Android iPhone versus Android argument. I'm so sick of people arguing in favor of Xbox.
Fuck Xbox.
It's not even close. And you want to know what it comes down to? If you can't argue anything else, like the consoles are completely identical and they do the same thing, which for the most part they are.
Kind of do, yeah.
You know what sells it for me?
What?
Xbox controllers look fucking retarded.
They're big and clunky,
They're
too.
big,
I don't
clunky.
Like them.
They're staggered. Why is the one all the way up at the top? The one thumbstick. Why would you switch it up? If I was left-handed, I'd be so pissed.
I didn't even think of that.
That's what kills it for me. When you look at it, it's not symmetrical. The PS4 controller is perfectly symmetrical. All the PlayStation controllers have been. You know what I mean? That's the big thing for me. Also, the system looks cooler.
System's way cooler.
It's less confusing when you're on it.
I don't have to spend $1 billion on batteries.
I have to use our in our middle room where we sit here and film this podcast, and we have our couch here. We have 2 couches actually, and our TV's right behind the camera. We have to use this fuckhead's Xbox to get Netflix up or watch a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And it takes just way too damn long. And I'm not the kind of person that's not capable of figuring it out. I can get it, but it's just so damn much. You have your little avatar that you build is fucking flying around the home screen. Why?
Just for fun.
It makes me feel like a child, dude. It makes me
feel like I've got the Wii again.
It makes me... Dude, I miss
Just go to that room with all the 100 little characters you built with all their fucked up faces.
Boom.
No, you have to deal with none of that on the PlayStation.
None of that shit.
None of that shit.
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, I had the Wii, and I used to go and just fucking make. This is gonna sound so stupid. I used to look up tutorials online of how to make different characters.
Oh my god!
Did you ever do that?
No.
Like I learned how to make Master Chief.
Oh
you would you made him like a certain bronze color, like kind of like a light skin color, you know what I mean? And then you would make the nose this certain thing, put it all the way to the bottom, give him like a beard. Mm-hmm. And then you would hide the eyes and the eyebrows all the way up, and it looked like it was a guy wearing a helmet. It was really, really sick. And that was my me for the longest time. And there was all kinds of things like that you could do.
I don't even blame you for looking it up. I blame the people that made those videos.
Yeah, honestly.
How long did that take them to figure out?
Yeah, what were they doing?
Just messing around.
What were they doing? Do you remember? Did you play Wii Sports with bowling and stuff?
Yeah, I was a
pro
bowler.
Did you ever figure out? You know how you could go and do the training thing, where you could like go and hit like a fucking 100 pins?
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out the button thing?
Yeah, there was a button on like the left side.
Dude, that was so cool when I finally figured that out.
Hit it and then I'll just.
I figured it out. I figured that out entirely on my own. I never looked that up. I saw the button and I shot for it and I got it. I swear I never looked it up.
Yeah, whatever.
I saw that button there and I was like, it's got to do something, and it lines up completely with the walls, and I banged it. I banged it.
I don't believe you.
Dog, I did.
I don't believe you.
Dude. Did you hear what Joe Biden said about domestic violence? I'm sorry, I just thought of that because I said banged it.
Yeah.
He said
Joe Biden needs to think about what he says before he says.
he's a fucking idiot.
He's so bad.
He's
so
the
bad.
dumbest political candidate I've ever seen in my life.
He's just so bad at debates because
He was like, yeah, we have to beat up domestic violence.
he said we gotta keep punching at it. He was like, there's no place for it in our society, like all this stuff that's correct. And then he's like, yeah, we just got to keep punching at it and punching it and punching at it. That was the exact quote. It was punching at it and punching it and punching at it.
Whoever's on his team had to have been like,
are you
behind the
kidding
scenes
me?
like, oh my fucking God, Joe's doing it again.
Bro, I read on Twitter that
Joe's talking again. Why did we let him talk?
We asked him not to ask him any questions.
I pulled up this argument, or I pulled up this article earlier today because I knew I was going to want to talk about Joe Biden. Do you remember? I have to pull it up. Hang on. This is the quote. God. It says, this is on the WashingtonPost.com. For those unaware, Biden at one point said, quote unquote, poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
No.
Are you fucking kidding me? How can you say that? How is he even still running? Why do they still give him the time of day, dude?
Joe Biden's dumbass.
Joe Biden's dumb ass.
Domestic violence is wrong. Like there's no place for it in our society. And we gotta work at it. We gotta keep punching at it.
We gotta
punch
beat
it
the fuck out of it. We gotta beat the fuck.
Joe, I don't want to
serious.
put Joe. What if the guy was just like, Joe, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but are you saying that we need to beat the shit out of domestic violence?
Dude, we need to fucking beat the shit out of domestic violence until it takes the kids to its mom's house for the weekend. Joe, I don't think that... No, that's exactly what I meant. You heard me. Domestic violence is so fucked when I get home. So fucked when I get...
Domestic violence is so fucked. I'm fucking heated, and I'm beating the shit out of domestic violence when I get home.
Holy shit. Joe Biden needs to cool down.
He needs to just take a deep breath before he says anything.
Yeah, seriously.
And realize, how can he, with any sort of, like, he's a political candidate. He needs to be able to talk in front of people.
Yeah, I know.
And he's out here saying domestic violence. Yeah, we should just keep punching at it until it's better.
He's completely incapable.
Are you kidding me?
Incapable.
Yeah, poor kids. Yeah, they're just as good as white kids.
Dude,
what are you saying?
How about I want to talk a little bit about Myles Garrett.
Oh, we're talking about Joe Biden's dumbass. Now let's talk about Myles Garrett's dumbass.
Yeah, Myles Garrett's dumbass.
We were at the game and we missed the fight.
We were at the game and we left right before that fight.
We left
happened.
like a minute left and the fight happened with 8 seconds left.
I'm salty we didn't see it.
Dude.
I'll be honest. I don't know what your take is on it. I know that he's really, really dumb, but I kind of think that I don't think it's as extreme as everybody's making it. Dude, I've been seeing it on the news. Like Fox News, CNN, like everybody's covering it.
I'm telling you right now.
It shouldn't have made it past ESPN.
I'm telling you.
It's not that big of a deal.
Right now. Mason Rudolph said the N-word.
I think he did too.
Guaranteed.
You know, he claims that he did.
No. Yeah, Garrett claims
Myles
he did.
Garrett said that he said a racial slur before, right?
Before he hit him in the head with a helmet.
Yeah.
He said the N-word, bro.
I totally believe that he did. Mason
Rudolph just looks like a kid that would say the N-word.
He does. He sort of does. He looks a little greasy.
He looks like a high school bully who says the N-word.
I want to believe that he didn't, and he claims that he didn't, but it's just like I haven't seen Myles Garrett get quite that like heated over something
Myles
like that
Garrett's
before.
such a
I've
nice
never
guy.
really seen him fight. Yeah, he seems like a pretty good dude.
But he just bashed him over the head.
At the same time, though, I mean,
He's so dumb.
seriously think about it. I don't know how I would feel if the tables are reversed. If let's just say it had happened to the Browns, like a Steelers player hit a Browns player over the head with that helmet.
I'd probably be pretty livid.
I wouldn't be happy about it, but dude, just in the context of everything, you see, like, you know, the sack was a little bit overboard. He was still tearing him down to the ground after he had already thrown the ball away, but it's his right to do as a player. but it's a little over the top. And then he goes and starts tearing his helmet off, kicks him in the balls. That obviously pisses Myles Garrett off. It pissed me off too. And then he takes his helmet off in retaliation. And then he was being chased by...
And then Mason Rudolph chased him down without a helmet.
Yeah, chased him
at his throat.
And another dude who's comparably sized to Myles Garrett. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it was just Myles Garrett swinging at a littler dude. It was another guy, Myles Garrett's size, and Mason Rudolph.
He came at his throat and probably said the M-word.
He probably did. So, I sympathize with Myles Garrett. I hope that this doesn't hurt his entire career, although I think at this point it probably will. It's always going to hang over his head. You know what I mean?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Big time tough.
Yeah, but it probably won't hang over his head as long as Joe Biden talking about
domestic
beating
violence
up domestic
and,
violence will hang
how
over
white
his
kids
head.
are never poor.
Yeah. So
Poor
Myles,
kids are just as bright as white kids.
Myles, take a deep breath. At least you're not Joe Biden.
At least all your apologies didn't attack certain people.
Yeah, for sure.
At least your public statements at the podium weren't. Yeah, I beat him up because he was white.
Yeah, for real.
Like, what the fuck?
All right.
All right.
I think that is about all we have time for today.
We're out of here. We're getting too heated about these topics.
Yeah, we're getting too heated. But anyway, as always, thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate all of your support, and we hope to see you guys again soon.
Go check out our Patreon. We're going to get a bonus episode up there
Peep the Patreon.
in the next few days, the second bonus episode. And thank you guys for listening.
Word.